Yo, so this week I wanted to make a box out of that plastic needlepoint canvas hole stuff. I used to make boxes out of this stuff a lot when I was younger. If you ever had little objects and you needed to put it somewhere, I'd make a little box to put anything in, or picture frames or whatever. I used this stuff a lot. Anyways, so I have been using toilet paper as tissues because, yeah, okay, anyways. So I wanted to make some kind of a cover to put on it, and I don't like the kind of covers that are covers. I wanted it to be an actual box. So I made a box, but I wanted so I really like textures. I have a thing with textures for some reason. I like to feel everything, and I like things to have different textures, so it's always something different to touch and feel. I don't know what my deal is there. But, so I distracted myself. What was I even saying? So I tried to make a box. I haven't made a box in a really long time, and I made the same mistakes that I used to make when I was a kid, so that's cool. So I don't just count the holes out because I'm lazy. So I tried to make a square and then make my square. It was a rectangle. And then at the very end, they weren't all the same. So some, like most, four I think, are the same, and then maybe two of them are slightly smaller, or maybe only one of them. Well, one of them is noticeably like one singular line smaller. So that's my lazy box attempt there. Whatever. Anyways, so make your squares if you want to make a box, specifically a box with a hinging lid like I did. You need 6 squares of the same size, or rectangles, or whatever, figure out your pattern. Try to make 6 squares if you can. And then I wanted them to all be different textures, like I said, because I don't want it to all feel the same. When you grab it, I don't want all my fingers to be feeling the same texture. I wanted it to be different. Different thickness of yarn, different material of yarn, and different stitch, so that everything about it feels different all the way around. So I used 3 different types of yarn, thicknesses, feels, and then I just kind of went for it with the stitches. I don't really know the names of stitches. My mom taught me to sew when I was really little, and I don't remember the names of stitches ever. She's always like, oh, do the blanket stitch. Oh, do the satin stitch. I don't know one from another. The only stitch that I really ever remember the name of is the French knot, because it's a knot. So like, okay, I know one knot. That's easy to remember. So my chaos aside, I keep my yarn in a baggie with just the end, and then I zip most of it closed so the end sticks out. And if it's not a knotted ball of yarn, it'll just pull out. It's really easy. Most of my yarn's knotted, so. But if you don't accidentally get your yarn knotted, it works. So what was my point? So I just randomly chose kind of how I wanted to fill these in. I remember from my past, you can't make your stitching too long or it like buckles. It really shouldn't be longer than 5 squares per stitch. I did make one of the sides 8 because it was taking a long time and I wanted it done. I don't remember these taking so long. Oh, I literally spent all day on this box. I think this box took maybe 8 hours. I might be near an hour 9 here on this thing, but it's done. It's a little bit funky. The thing that I made to put in it is too big. Oh my God. So that's my math skills. When I was a kid, I was great at math, and I was doing math above my level. But then when I hit geometry, I couldn't do math anymore. I couldn't even do simple math. It's like I had walked into a wall and my mind was cleared of all math skills. Whew, never done math before in my life. Now I can't even do simple stuff. So it doesn't stay in your head. If you don't use it, you will lose it. Oh, it's terrible. So yeah, anyways, that's my math. My math didn't math here on this project of a box, but it still kind of works. Once the thing is smaller, I can put it in here and it'll work better. But okay, so in my defense, I took one and laid it down on my page to draw, to make a pattern so I would know how big I needed it to be. The one that I used for my pattern wasn't a full-size one because these are my sisters. I don't get this brand. I am really cheap with everything. I don't know what my deal is. So I always get the 1,000 roll, whatever brand, I don't care, any of the 1,000 rolls. And they're a very thin roll and it lasts for freaking ever. Like you can use the length of your arm 10 times over, and for some reason that roll doesn't need to get changed for a week. This other kind though, you have to change the roll every 2 or 3 days if you're sharing a bathroom with someone. So I don't know what the deal is, but I stand by the 1,000 sheet. Her rolls are bigger than mine. That was the point. So when I get mine back, eventually when I finally get that kind again, it'll fit better in my box. Rant about toilet paper. Oh my God. What are your feelings on toilet paper? I have very strong feelings about toilet paper personally, about what kind I use. I mean, I don't care about how it feels as long as you have enough to be clean. I don't care if it's soft or rough. Literally doesn't make a difference. Don't freaking care. My backhind is not so sensitive that I give an S. But I'm cheap and I like to save money where I can so I can buy craft stuff. So, yeah, I cut corners. Whatever. Oh, why do I have such strong feelings about toilet paper? Anyways, this stuff's way better for your nose, so it doesn't really matter. This stuff is much softer. Keep your nose protected during cold season. My cold is almost gone. It tried to kill me. It was terrible. I haven't been that sick in a really long time, like literally years. I forget where my point was with any of this. So to make a box, you make your 6 sides. And if you want your box to hinge open, only attach one of the sides. Literally leave the other 3 open. And if you want it to be a tissue box or a coin box, or just any box with a hole in the top, just cut out whatever shape or size hole you want and go for it. I just kind of folded it in half and tried to make a middle. I counted for that because it would bother me so much if that was off center. So I did count that just to make sure that the lid was at least centered. So yeah, I wanted a texture box. Did I explain that this is a texture box? I feel like everything I said is completely out of order. So this is a texture box so that when you pick it up, all the sides feel different. And it's also something that's just cuter than looking at a roll of toilet paper when you have cold. And yeah, I don't buy tissues because I'm cheap. I was for a while, but yeah, I'm cheap. I also have the washable kind of tissues, but those do not wash right. Oh my God. And I'm not hand washing that. Oof. I've considered trying to figure it out, but that route was gross. I mean, have you ever used washable handkerchiefs? Ugh. I tried. Now I just have a bunch of decorative ones that are cute and embroidered. I really like handkerchiefs. I have a collection of them actually. Most of them are big enough to go in your hair, so that. I have a couple that are really small though, and they're more just things that I use to keep fragile stuff wrapped up in. So, or if I go anywhere, travel anywhere at all, whether it be on a plane or just in public at all, I like to tie one of my random handkerchiefs to all the handles of everything so that it's obviously mine. I don't get basic suitcases. It's obviously mine anyway, but just for S's and G's, I tie an additional crazy scarf so that you can see oh, hey, there goes my scarf. That one's obviously mine. And I do that for my mom too when she goes somewhere, because she does have a basic bag, but I wrote mom on it really big, so it's no longer basic, and nobody's going to want to take something that's obviously mom's, right? I mean, okay, not nobody. People are people, right? I mean, by accident. I mean, can't help what people want to do on purpose. But anyways, yeah, so I just picked one of the random, extremely noticeably vibrant ones that you can see from far away. That's different than your actual suitcase. So like if I'm using my red suitcase, I'll use a purple tie or whatever. So yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about that. I made a box. In order to sew your 6 pieces together, I mean this, don't quote me on this being right, but this is how I do it. I don't even think this is how my mom taught me to do it. This is how I remember doing it, and this is how I've been doing it for the last insert number of years here. I'm not going to say that number. Oh my God, I can't believe I've been sewing that long. Holy shite, man. I'm old. So you take your boxes. I'm so distracted. And I close them like a book, and then I sew through up the side and then open it. And then I keep it open and then put another one down and then sew like this here where they're all going around. I don't know if my words make any sense, but I'm hoping the visual helps the understanding of my words. Words are so hard. I have a way of using the wrong words, and then people think I meant this, but really I meant this. And I don't know how to explain that, yeah, my words meant this, and I realize my words meant this, but I meant that, and I don't know how to say that. I'm not great with communication. I try. But yeah. Yeah. What happened here? Oh my God, I don't know. So my box is what it is, I guess. I mean, I clicked on something. I'm not watching it anymore with you, so... Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I clicked on, but it vanished. My box vanished. Let me just click save. Ugh. And I'll bring that back up. So whatever you're watching, I'm not seeing, but yeah, that's my box. I lost my sanity making this thing. Oh my God. Bye.